Hey, it's Kyle.
And Kelly.
Hey, we're here with you again to talk some more about cruising.
Yes.
What we thought we'd kind of talk about today is one of the great things about cruising is
Ports.
port days.
Ports.
All the different ports. There are ports all around the world.
Oh, yes.
We've done the Caribbean. We've done
U.S. Virgin Islands.
U.S. Virgin Islands. We've done the Mexican Riviera and
The Baja.
the
did
Baja.
the Baja.
And then we've done Greece and a little bit of Italy.
Yes.
Venice was our main port of call there. So we're going to talk a little bit about port of call. If we're looking down here, we're trying to making sure we get everything in so we can answer that question. What is port days? What is it like? What does it include? And what are some important things to take away?
Oh, yes.
So, number one, when you go to get off the ship on port days, one of the things I recently heard on our last trip to take with us was some water bottles.
Yes.
Because now most cruise lines are charging you a couple of dollars per bottle. It's like when you go to a concert or to Six Flags or at a theme park where it's like $5 for a bottle of water. $1 bottle from your local Walmart, Target, wherever.
Save you a bundle.
And you can just refill it because all the water there on the ship, it's drinkable.
It's desalinated. It's potable. Potable is the big word.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Big word.
Big
All
word.
right. So anyway, on port days, what can you do?
On port days, what can you do?
What can you do on port days?
Well, you can stay on board.
You can?
You can.
You
You
don't
can stay on board. You don't have to get off if you don't want to.
All
You
right.
can stay on board. There's those of you that lounging by the pool is your idea of heaven. You know what? Go for it. That's the day when the pools are the least crowded and you can just lay back, get that bake on, soak in that sun, goof around in the water, whatever you want to do. There's also, you can't do shopping on board on port days because all the shops have to close. It's international law.
Well, otherwise, if they're in port, they have to charge you the local taxes or duties, duty and taxes. When they're out to sea, they don't have to charge you the casino.
Duty free.
It's duty free. And the casino for the ships that have casinos will be closed on port days. So, shore excursions.
Yes, there are shore excursions.
Shore excursions, now these can be done one of two ways. On shore excursions, you can get off the ship, and I promise you, there's no shortage of taxis when you get outside the ports. No shortage, I promise.
No. They will be waving you down. Now, do a little bit of research ahead of time or have your friendly travel advisor do some research ahead of time and find some reputable taxi companies. There are some out there that are just and if you want to support those guys, that's fine. Just try to make sure it's somebody that's reputable.
But okay, so you go online, you find a good reputable one that you want to take one with on your own. You don't book it through the cruise lines, which that's the other option. You can book it through the cruise line.
You bet.
And they will have a way to get you off the ship, get you to your tour guide, and go do your excursion.
So let me ask you real quick, while we're talking about it, what is the benefit of booking your excursion through the cruise line versus doing your excursion yourself?
The advantage to doing it through the cruise line is the cruise line will have a guarantee that if you leave with the tour guide and the whole tour, everybody that's on it is not back to the ship because that tour has not finished or is running late, they will hold the ship.
Bonus.
Or they will pay to get you the next port of call.
Yes.
Now, we have never encountered that. I think we've had one tour run a little late on one, and it was like 15 minutes late.
It wasn't that big.
No big deal. But these tours are going to try to get back because they know if they run late very much, the cruise line's not going to continue to use them.
No.
Now, if you do it on your own, that's the big advantage. And usually the cruise lines have a great selection, different activity levels for seniors that want to go sightseeing, to the thrill seekers, the Olympic athletes that want that major experience, or travel advisors can find that special private thing. But if you go on your own, you find that special adventure, you want to go deep sea fishing, you didn't find anything that looks great to you through the cruise line, You can go out on your own, or you can just once every so often just go on a walkabout. Go find
Actually immerse yourself in the culture.
Go find a little hole in the wall
Yes,
restaurant.
I love hole in the walls.
We did one in, I believe it was.
Cozumel?
We did one in Ensenada, and we did one I think in Barbados where you had the goat curry in
Oh,
Barbados.
the goat curry! Oh my gosh, yes, that was
We
amazing.
find some restaurants. This one she had goat curry was dated. It was
It looked like it stepped out of Three's Company, guys. It was 1970s. Oh, it was amazing.
and you
So
could tell it was
awesome.
dated. Normally you'd be like, I don't know about this. Food was great. The atmosphere, like I said, was a little dated, but the staff was great. The food was good. And you saw a lot of local people there. On a walkabout, you can do that. Or if you take those excursions we've kind of touched on your own. The only thing with those is
You're responsible.
You're responsible for getting back to the ship on your own, and knowing you must, I cannot stress this enough, you must know the ship time. Okay? This
Ship.
most recent trip we took on the Liberty of the Seas, we went to Honduras, and we were also doing Costa Maya and Cozumel. Great itinerary. It's a good one for first-time cruisers. If you're thinking about it, that's a good one. But in Honduras, they were in a different time zone. We crossed over to a different time zone for that one port. The ship did not change. Now, if you have one of those fancy smartphones like we all have, and they automatically update to the time zone you're in,
You gotta roll it back, man.
you've got to remember that, or
You gotta.
disable for the trip and get locked onto ship time and stay there. And making sure your tour guide knows, hey, we're an hour ahead or an hour behind based on the ship time.
Yep.
Because if the gangway comes up at 5, typically, what would you say? No later than, right at about 5 o'clock. You're watching them
They're hustling.
They're hustling
They're
to
hustling
get.
everything together.
Usually we've done all of ours have been Royal Caribbean. They're collapsing their tents. They're pulling those in. All the crowd control barriers. They're getting those
Down.
picked up, and they're rolling everything up.
Yep.
And they're ready to go.
Yep.
Um,
Now, the big thing about ship time, because we said ship time, but we didn't really describe what ship time is. Ship time is the time that your ship is in its port of call, its original port of call. So if your ship, like ours, we're talking about Honduras, if it came out of Galveston, then it's going to be on Central Daylight Time because we left during summertime, so it's going to be in Central Daylight Time will be the time zone.
Mostly when we did our Greece tour, remember they made a whole bunch of special announcements to change your clocks because we did change time zones for several days.
This is true.
And our original port of call on that one was Venice. Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got out of Venice after a day, we changed to a different time zone. We stayed in that time zone until we got back to Olympia, and that's when we changed back to time zones. So just knowing what time zone your ship is in, that's the big thing.
That's the big thing.
Is making sure that when you get off the ship, if you're getting off the ship at 9 a.m., you look at your watch clock on your phone and it says 9 a.m., the ship says 9 a.m., making sure it doesn't change.
Yep.
Because when the gangway goes up, the gangway goes up. And if you're not on one of the excursions by the cruise line, when that ship starts moving,
Bye-bye. See you later.
and when it's making wake, you're left on dock. So you must be back at the ship on time. Now all the excursions that are out there, oh gosh, we have.
Well, now what happens if you're not back on time?
Okay, if you're not back on time,
Because you're in a strange country, you have
All
no
right.
documentation.
so what's going to happen
Okay.
is when you're left. Let's just be honest here. They know how. They clean your room. They know how to get into your room. They're going to get, if you're not on board and they have waited, they don't push it. They don't wait long. Get back on time. But if you're not there in the wait time, they're probably going to enter your room and they are going to gather all necessary items. They're going to check your safe and get your credit cards, and if you have any travel documents, put them in a special secure bag. And all cruise lines have some authority or representative there at each port, and they are going to leave your necessary items.
Okay.
Necessary items with the port authority or their representative for you so you can get home or back to the ship at the next port of call. They're not going to leave you stranded. So, and you agree to all of this when you book your cruise, you agree to all of this in the cruise contract. So if you really want to know what they're going to do, they do spell it out in the cruise contract. Okay? So if you go out on your own, you're on your own, and if you miss the boat, you miss the boat. And you don't want to be one of the last ones getting back on, because I know I enjoy doing this, is I will stand on the side that the port is on, and we watch for people running up to the pier. Wait for me!
And we cheer them on. Yay! Go, 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 go!
And we boo them if they're walking very slow. And
yes.
And we laugh at the ones who have enjoyed partying a little too hard and are stumbling. We laugh or wave at them. We waved at one or two we waved at that didn't make it back.
Yeah.
There's lots of fun YouTube videos of people who are like, hey, come back. No, the ship, once it leaves, it's not coming back.
Sorry.
So there's your little short video, shore excursions. Let's see. What all have we done on shore excursions? Just to kind of give you a taste of what's out there. We've done scuba diving.
Yes.
We've done lots of snorkeling.
Yes.
Catamaran tours.
We did the tall ship.
We did a tall ship.
We did a pirate tall ship.
Yes, we went and
fun.
sailed like a pirate for a day. There are shopping tours.
Yes, if you like to shop.
Cuisine tours. If you're a foodie and you want to go out and learn to make local. We've gone to wineries and olive groves.
Yes.
And had lunch and had a musical dance troupe come in and teach us how to dance like the Greeks. Yes. There's some bad video. Oh, it's
He
so.
danced.
I did. I have 3 left feet. It feels like I don't just have 2. I'm gifted with an extra bad dance move there. But I did for you.
You did, and I loved it.
But shopping, cuisine, snorkeling, scuba diving,
History tours.
If
you're a history nut like me, there's plenty of history tours out there. And some of them even have what they call their spooky tours. And I might see about possibly doing a video on my own. He's not much for the spooky tours, but I like it. I like haunted history. So I might see about doing some research and getting a spooky tour. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see.
Let's see. History. You touched on history. We went and saw like the Parthenon in Greece, and then it followed over to their natural history museum over there, and got to see a lot of things, hear a lot of great history. Depending on the ports of call, there's all kinds of. I know in Alaska they have dog sledding adventures, helicopter rides. I mean, the options are endless. So that's one of the advantages when you go on a cruise. One port of call. Athens or Costa Maya was a history one. We had the temples in Costa Maya, the Chocchoban temples, or we had the site of the first Olympics in Olympia, and then we had
the island of Corfu is a gigantic fort. And we got to hear the history of that fort and why it was so important in the Mediterranean Sea.
And then we had the Bay of Kotor, where we took a catamaran, had a quick tour of the bay, and then they dropped anchor, and the captain jumped off the ship with his girlfriend, and the whole family was there. The mom stayed inside and served snacks and drinks, while everybody else just followed the captain's lead, jumped in the water, and just floated in the bay for like 3 hours. And you could get on, get a snack, relaxing. And then, Cozumel was where we did the scuba diving and some snorkeling, swam with stingrays.
I got to go in a beer run.
Yeah. Yes, so when you go, you can take your credit cards. It doesn't hurt to have a little cash on hand.
This might be a story for another time.
It may be.
Okay.
But, okay, so, but anyway, have a little cash with you just in case. Credit cards, if you're... And I recommend it, your SeaPass card or your, whatever it takes to get on and off the ship. Doesn't hurt to also have your passport or at least government-issued ID. Really, if things are going to be safe on shore excursions, because they don't want anything getting stolen or they'll never get another booking.
Right.
So your things are going to be safe, but to have your passport with you is not a bad idea either. Shore excursions are great. It's a great way to go. see these places that you've traveled to, and that way when you put your little pin in your map, say, I've been there, you have a story to go along with it.
Oh, yeah. We love stories.
Subscribe, hit that button down below, give us the thumbs up if you like this. Leave us some comments. What are some other questions about cruising that you would like answered to know? What is cruising? We've got more we're working on. We've got a whole list of videos we want to try to make here. So we're going to try to get these recorded, get them up to you in a short format, kind of like this. So bye-bye, guys. Y'all have a great day.